Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in the Crew 2, and in this video I wanted to focus specifically on physics. Also, guys, please do remember that this is a work in progress build, so just make sure you know that going into the video. Also, don't forget to click the link in the description box below to check out more about the Crew 2 and to get signed up for the beta. And trust me, there's a lot of big stuff in store for this game. Now here we're flying over New York, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about particularly was, yeah, that gate, I completely screwed it up, but no, one of the main things I wanted to talk about is the feel of the physics, because I touched on it a little bit in the previous video, but I didn't go in depth. Now, from my personal experience with the game, because this is all me playing, with my personal experience of the game, again, like I said in the previous video, the physics are very, very smooth. They're very, very smooth, and they're very easy to pick up and play. However, that doesn't mean that they lack depth. They actually have quite a bit of depth to them. And they've actually found a really nice happy medium where you can fly around. Say, for example, let's take the plane, for example. You can fly the plane around. It's easy to get it off the ground. It's easy to get it in the air, and it's easy to maneuver it. But if you want to get really good at it, there's a whole nother level of practice that you have to go through to get to that. Now, the cool thing about having a system like this is that it makes the game very accessible, very easy to pick it up and play it for, say, a new player to the series or a newcomer to games in general, but it also adds a very deep level of skill, effectively, for people that want to really get into the game and spend a lot of time playing it, learning the physics, learning the handling, and learning how everything feels and plays and just plays out. And let me just have it, like, just a quick side note. Look at the water. The detail here with the water and the city is just absolutely beautiful, and it's just so gorgeous. I sometimes look at this game and I'm like, dude, damn, they really went through a lot to get these visuals pushed this far, because they really are pushed this far. I mean, the planes have a really nice sense of speed. When you're way up high, you feel like you're going slower because you see everything moving by faster. But when you start to fly low, it can be a little bit intimidating if you don't really have a lot of practice with these physics. Yeah, that was for a boat, not for a plane, which is why I didn't activate anything when I flew through it. But anyways, regardless, also the sky, super gorgeous, and I figured out early on that one of my favorite pastimes with the plane was to fly through the city and get as close as possible to buildings, sometimes touch my wheels to them. So it's just, you can almost make up these little games for yourself that are not even part of the actual game at all. Oh, also, flying upside down, another fun game. Did I make it through here? Yes, I did. So, under bridges, upside down, you can just get really creative if you want to fly as close as possible to buildings. If you want to fly low, there's actually challenges in the game for flying low, but also if you want to fly upside down for as long as you can, or fly under bridges upside down. You can create these little challenges for yourself that really give a lot of longevity to the gameplay. They make it very replayable. And actually, speaking of the flying low challenge, here it is. But I will say for sure that I found myself getting really wrapped up in the gameplay, more so than I did in the first game. And I think that that's a really important point to make, because the more you can get wrapped up in the gameplay of a game, the more it draws you in, the more there is to that game. You know what I mean? The more there is to it, the more substance there is to it, the more depth there is to it. And the Crew 2 has all of those things in truckloads. So and I don't want to say that I'm just, I'm just like saying great things about the game over and over again. I really do mean these things that I'm saying about it. It's one of those things where I will be playing this game at launch. I can promise you that. I will be playing through. I plan on playing through the entire game. I will play it with my friends. I'll play it here on the channel for you guys. I'll do videos on it. I'll live stream it, because I really do enjoy the game, and it's a really fun, really deep, open game. Of course, another side to the physics of the game are the boat physics. Now, boat physics, being a totally new thing to the Crew series, are definitely an interesting step into a new territory, into a new area for this game and for this series. I really like how each boat handles differently. Now, keep in mind, that is the case with pretty much all of the vehicles. All the cars feel like they handle differently. The boats feel like they handle differently. The planes do as well. Everything feels unique. Everything has its own unique handling characteristics, which is very important for a game with a large roster of vehicles, especially with different vehicle types entirely. Now, the boats are definitely, I would say, they have just a little bit of a learning curve to them, because you don't really have as much area with which to mess up, like, for example, with the planes. You know, it's like the only time you're going to mess up horribly with a plane is if you go too far near the ground or too far near a building or a tree and crash. Whereas here, you have a little bit more of a, unless you're way out in, you know, like a really wide body of water, when you're out here in more of like a marshy, swampy area, you definitely have to stay a little bit more focused to make sure you don't go off the, into the grass and stuff. Because if you do that, you'll end up way behind. Now, you can actually use the speed of these boats to jump the grass and jump the dirt just a little bit. You can kind of cut the track, which sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of like a rally co-driver that says cut here and then don't cut there. Especially, that was one where I was like, don't cut. If you cut there, bad things will happen and you'll go slow and it's not good. And you won't enjoy that lap. Well, you'll enjoy it because it's so fun to drive these boats, but you'll be way far behind everybody else in the race. So, you can see that massive supercharged V8 in the back powering this crazy jet boat. I mean, this thing is a monster. It's so fast. But the other thing is it's so twitchy on the water, too. Like, it's not twitchy in a bad way, but it's like it's twitch handling, right? No, if you turn in, it turns and it goes. It is on point, and once you get used to that twitch handling, you are like, dude, you will be ripping with this thing. Unfortunately, in this race, I still hadn't quite had enough practice yet, but trust me when I say that once you get a little bit more practice with these jet boats, you will be fast as hell. You will be so fast that it's just like, when you have enough people in a race together that are all fast with these jet boats, it is an intense experience. It is so crazy. Everybody's fast. Everybody's like, no, I wouldn't say all over the place. All over the place is the wrong term, but that's what I meant when I said you can cut the track a little bit. If you do it properly, you can also cut right here. But it's one of those things where you have to actually, you know, you can learn some of these circuits and plan where you want to cut and where you don't want to cut. And once you get all of that stuff down and dialed in, you'll be good to go. Now, I wanted to finish up with the car physics, because cars are obviously what we've had before, but they've been completely reworked, the physics have been completely reworked, and in driving multiple cars in the game, I can tell you that they do have a noticeable difference in handling between each other. From car to car to car to car to car again, you'll have a different feel each time. So it really makes a big difference in learning what your style of driving and learning what your style of car that you like to race is in the Crew 2. And these big jumps, dude, I freaking love them. I love them so much, and I'm so happy that that dynamic is here. It just adds a whole new level of fun to it, because that's one of the things they're trying to go for in the Crew 2, is to really raise the bar not only on graphics and physics and how everything handles, but they're trying to raise the bar on that fun factor. And I think the jumps really help with that. The jumps on the water with the boats help with that. I think adding these little challenges here and there with the planes helps with that. I think that everything, really what it boils down to is the fun factor really has been turned up quite a few notches here, and I think it shows. I think it really does come through with how the game plays, how the game feels, and the fact that everything just feels very smooth, very well tied together, and just very focused on fun. And I think that that's, you couldn't really get any, I looked back and completely went off my line, and then completely went off it into a corner. But I think when the primary target, because the primary target is always fun with a game, but when it's really put up here at the forefront, you really start to feel that everything is focused around fun. The whole game has this fun dynamic to it, and I just absolutely love that. I really, really do. That section before, I had gone through there previously a couple times, and you just got to be really careful you don't hit any trees. As long as you don't hit any trees, you're all right. But like, dude, if you hit a tree, it could send you from first to like 6th. So definitely something to watch out for there. But I just love how, again, I said in the previous video, but I want to state it again here in the end of this video, how alive the city feels with the traffic and the pedestrians and the objects all over the place. Everything here in this city feels very alive, and I completely blew that corner and went into a truck, and it's just like, it's little times like that, little things that can happen that can throw your race off if you're not careful. But if you guys did enjoy this video on the Crew 2, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see y'all next time. Talk to you guys later.